All the secrets of the skies in a drop of rain. Look around, just look around. For the silver and surprise, if you look around, just look around.
In 1970, mankind took time to worry about and to pay tribute to the planet Earth.
Okay. Hold on. Stop on. Wait, I think we probably should explain this. It is kind of a weird way to come out of that, right? But that time warp and that glorious song you just heard by Sergio Mendes and Brazil 66, by the way, well, that comes from our KTVB archives. And as you heard, 1970 was the first year for Earth Day, the birth of the modern-day environmental movement. America at the time was suffering from suffocating air pollution. Litter was everywhere, dirty rivers, including one that actually caught fire in Cleveland in 1969. Inspired by an oil spill off the coast of Santa Barbara, California, a senator from Wisconsin, that'd be Senator Gaylord Nelson, well, he's credited with helping launch the first Earth Day on April 22nd, 1970, 53 years ago tomorrow. Our KTVB crew captured and commemorated the iconic and inaugural moment with this little ditty.
All the secrets of the skies in a drop of rain. Look around, just look around. For the silver and surprise, if you look around, just look around.
In 1970, mankind took time to worry about and to pay tribute to the planet Earth. The ecology crusade reached its zenith on April 22nd, the first national observance of Earth Day. A day dedicated to the protection of mankind's land, its air, and its water. Young and old alike joined forces to clean up litter and to dramatize the need to end pollution. Critics questioned the motivation and the economic impact of some of the demands of the crusade. Interior Secretary Walter J. Hickel made a tour of the Upper Snake River with celebrities Arthur Godfrey and Burl Ives during Earth Week. During that trip, Hickel visited students staging a week-long camp-in to dramatize what life could be like in reasonably unpolluted surroundings.
We're up there really just to further their education, and I think that with all the academic training you get in the university, any university, I think the real education is to get out and see those areas of nature like they were doing. I think it's a real plus.
Okay, so, well, the Sergio Mendes aside, that was back 53 years ago. That first Earth Day celebrated by 20 million Americans across 10,000 schools and 2,000 college campuses, by the way, where they called them teach-ins at the time. Even at the University of Idaho, where they held outdoor lectures, instructors were urged to devote some time in their classes to discussing the environmental problems facing mankind. And that was also when this is also back when it was Boise State College. Remember that back in 1970, not Boise State University, and right between the Boise State, junior college, Boise Junior College. Several guys from the Beta Sigma Phi fraternity helped move old cars from the Boise foothills back on that weekend, which were likely then and probably promptly relocated to the Boise River to help with erosion and stuff. Okay, so some other background on what you saw in that old film from 1970. The Interior Secretary, Walter Hickel, actually encouraged President Nixon the December before to declare Earth Day a national holiday. Well, Nixon didn't, and it still isn't a national holiday. But it did help get environmental issues onto that national agenda. And on December 2nd of 1970, Congress authorized the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, or we know it as the EPA. Okay, back to Hickel. 2 weeks after visiting Idaho, which we showed you in that film there, during Earth Week in 1970, he actually wrote a letter to President Nixon that eventually led to him getting fired from the cabinet later that year. And in that letter, he criticized Nixon's invasion of Cambodia and how he handled the student protest at Kent State with the Ohio National Guard shooting into a crowd and killing 4 people. Remember that? Well, that letter, Hinkle wrote, "I believe this administration finds itself today embracing a philosophy which appears to lack appropriate concern for the attitude of a great mass of Americans, our young people." Pretty poignant. He added in that letter, regardless of how I or any American might feel individually, we have an obligation as leaders to communicate with our youth and listen to their ideas and problems. Perhaps through such conversations, we can gain greater insight into the problems confronting us all, and most important, he said, into the solutions of these problems. Hickel was fired 6 months later on Thanksgiving for writing that letter.